Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are on the main account today because I want to show you the team that I'm using currently for Hard Spider 10. Like, you know, most of us are aware that it's been a little bit of a roller coaster with the hard dungeons coming out. And, you know, maybe people have not talked as much about them because Live Arena's out now and all that. But I thought because we have the Spider tournament going on today, you know, some people might decide to go and farm the Spider to get themselves some of these rewards, even though they're not the best. But you know, at the end of the day, Spider is always a good place to farm because it's the best place to get silver from. You know, apart from like farming 12-3 on Brutal in campaign, Spider's the next best thing, and that's because the accessories sell for the most. So the team that I'm using is not something that I created. This is, you know, I'm not taking credit for it. This team was created by Tyrauku. I'm gonna have the link of from his video in the pinned comment and in the description, so you guys can go check it out on his side as well and show him all the love and support that he deserves, because I never like to take, you know, if I see something for somebody else, I always like to give credit where credit is due. I don't take, you know, I don't like to take credit for myself. But the team is pretty amazing, and you know, I could call it, I guess, free-to-play friendly, and that's because you don't need to pull any legendaries for this team, okay? The only thing you're gonna need to pull is a couple of rares and a couple of epics. And then the legendary, there's two options for the legendaries, but you know what, let's just have a look at the team and see how it goes, then look at the presets, then look at the build. So, the team that I'm talking about is Royal Guard, Husk, Painkeeper, Renegade, and then there's Lady at the end. Obviously, this team can be optimized, and there's, you know, there's better options out there. Maybe if you have a Yumeko, or if you have, I'm not sure actually if you with Yumeko it was, because you only reset 3 turns. But if you have a Kaimar, you can drop, you know, both the resets, get the Kaimar, and maybe the last slot is a flag slot, I don't know, a full champion or something like that. But there's, if you have the Kaimars and all the other crazy legendaries, it's gonna be a lot easier for you. However, if you don't have, you know, all the other legendaries, the Kaimars, all the Cresias, you know, the Sesias, all the other ones, but you do have the epics, and you do have yourself a Lydia, then you might be able to build this team. It's not the easiest, it requires some specific builds, requires some specific sets, and the speeds are pretty high, I'm not gonna lie. I've not tested the highs or the lows of the damage, but it shouldn't be too crazy because the damage of the boss is capped. What is it? With this one is always 10% of their max HP, and honestly, this team is 100%. Like, maybe my normal team is with Ghostborn instead of Lydia, which makes it 100% all the time because Ghostborn cannot, you know, cannot be resisted. But even with Lydia, I've done like 20-30 runs, and I've seen that even though she might get resisted, because the thing is like this, if you get resisted on the boss on the decreased defense or the weaken, it's not a problem because the boss takes the same amount of damage. If you get resisted, or like, you know, actually not resisted, but 3% on the spiderlings, if like I think 2 or 3 survive, it's still fine. Like I had 2 spiderlings not get the decreased defense land from Lydia, and then that was a little bit of a problem, but still, this one's still pretty fine. Look at this. Even though we didn't land on all of them, we still managed to kill it, and it just goes on like this pretty consistently. Now let me show you the variation with Ghostborn that I'm actually using, and that's my usual team, and then I'm going to show you the presets, the builds, and explain a little bit around. Let me see, where's my Ghostborn? Over there. Because again, Ghostborn is all about this one. For consistency, Ghostborn has a... this debuff cannot be resisted, which means unless you're facing a magic affinity and you weak hit, it's never gonna fail. It's never gonna fail because he will always land his decreased defense on them. You'll always do the damage enough to kill the spiderlings, and you know, you're good to go. But yeah, look at this, boom, boom. Also, the reason why Ghostborn is a little bit better than Lydia as well is because of the animations. Ghostborn's animations are a bit faster. It just straight up does boom the skill, and that's about it. Whereas Lydia does the animation of throwing, you know, the... whatever that is, it's like a bud. What do you leave it in the comments below, guys? What's the thing that Lydia throws out, like, you know, when she does raid 2? Because it's, I cannot think. It's like, looks like a demon with wings. I don't know. I'm curious. Like, I should have just watched and seen that. But this team is pretty easy. It's pretty consistent, and it's pretty awesome, honestly. It's pretty awesome. I'm happy that, you know, I can still do Spider 10 hard under 30 seconds, 100% consistent. Like, this team has never failed for me. Absolutely never. Like, obviously, the way that I speedtuned and tweaked it now, it has never failed. Look at that, boom. Again, 26 seconds. Usually it's 24, 25 seconds, but it's pretty consistent. So let's have a look at the presets first, and then we're gonna look at the builds, and again, like I said, discuss them. So for Royal Guard, is straight up simple. Priority the takedown. You want his AoE and max HP because this is gonna do the damage to the main spider, and this is gonna do the damage to the spiderlings. That's gonna kill the spiderlings. Husk, same thing. Priority the A2. Don't really care about the A3, but just in case, I've never have the damage dealers, these to do anything else. You can use, by the way, if you're thinking like, oh, can I use 2 Royal Guards? Yes, you can use 2 Royal Guards. But if you're thinking, can I use 2 Husks? No, you cannot, because the problem with Husk is he does straight up damage only based on his max HP. So he cannot do more than 35% of their max HP. So that's where the Royal Guard comes in. If you have 2 Royal Guards, and that's pretty fine, but you have to make sure that one, you know, if you build your Royal Guards pretty strong, you have to make sure that the first one that goes does not completely kill the spiderlings, or like some of those, because you want to kill all of them before the main spider gets a turn, so she has nothing to consume and heal herself up. So that's where the fact that, like, you know, you don't have to go pretty crazy stats. I'm gonna show you the stats to make it work. But yeah, I wanted to show, like, you know, 1 Husk, 1 Royal Guard, because I don't know, that might be more relatable as well, to be able to get both of those. And the way that I have it is I have Husks first, and then Royal Guard goes second for the nuke. You want to have their speeds be over 245 because the main spider has 245 speed, so you want to go before she gets a turn. Then Renegade, I made her the fastest. She opens with the A2 because, again, cut down on the animation. If you go with the A1, she's gonna run, hit, and come back. So I made her open with the A2 and then priority with the A3, which means that after the main spider gets a turn, we reset and we're gonna go again. But because this one only resets 2 turns and these skills are on a 4-turn cooldown, you need another reset, and that's where the Painkeeper comes in, and same thing, opens with the A2 and then with the A3. So you can basically get those 3 turns reset for your nukers. And now that I think about it, Yumiko should work as well, because 1 turn plus the 2 turns, that's 3 turns in total, so Yumiko would do the same thing. Again, Painkeeper is faster than everybody else, so the fastest one in your team will be Renegade and Painkeeper, because you want them to go do some skills, then when they come back to their turn, reset, and then everybody else does the right skills, and then that's where Ghostborn comes in. He's gonna be the 3rd fastest because you want the decreased defense to land before your nuker goes, and he's running at 256 speed, and his priority is just the decreased defense. So he does decreased defense, and he also helps, for example, with the increased attack for my Royal Guard. But at the same time, if you have a Lydia would open with the decreased defense weaken, you know, that AoE, and that also helps. Maybe Lydia might be a little bit easier in a certain way because she also brings that strength, and that's gonna help you take a hit because you will have to take a hit. Let's have a look quickly at the builds. So Husk, I have him, honestly, he's kind of like my Hydra Husk. He's in a reflex. Just like, you know, refreshes. I don't remember last time I actually used him in Hydra. He's running 248 speed, 100% crit rate, 233 crit damage. I don't care about anything else. I want him to be a little bit survivable, so I gave him an HP percent chest. And these are his masteries, just like, you know, I guess standard Hydra masteries. With War Master and some other stuff in support that might help. Royal Guard, kind of the same thing, just he's down the defense tree. I have no idea why I took him down the defense tree. This is my 3rd Royal Guard, so this is my 3rd one. I guess having Blast Proof can help you take that hit. Again, same principle, have War Master. And then he's running in an immunity. This is something extremely important. You need him to be either in immunity or untouchable, and you need basically the last champion that goes in your rotation, the last nuker, which in my case is Royal Guard, to be in immunity or untouchable, which basically is another set of immunity, because when the spider gets a turn, her skill, what she does is she depletes the turn meter by 20% of everybody, and basically the last one that goes in rotation will have his turn meter fully depleted. If that happens, the main spider, you know, the Spider Queen, Scavag, will put a sleep on that champion. So if you don't have an immunity on your Royal Guard, or whoever's gonna be your last one, but I would suggest Royal Guard to be the last one, he's gonna be asleep, and you're not going to be able to do the last nuke, and that will fail. So that's why I have him in an immunity. I'm running him again. 246 speed, just 1 speed faster main spider, 100% crit rate, 257 crit damage, and 5.7k attack. Okay, so this Royal Guard might not be as useful for like Hydra, for example, or maybe some other areas of the game, but you know, if you're at the point where you're trying to farm Spider stage 10 hard, you're gonna want to have, you know, some specific champions for this. Then Renegade, I have her in a shield set. I still have her with a blood shield rank because I'm using the same Renegade in on Fire Knight 25. I have not pushed Fire Knight hard yet, so I'm using the same one. The reason for the shield set, you're gonna see I have shield set, and then I have bolster on Painkeeper. You need to have a little bit of survivability and, you know, a quite big shield in there, because as you see, the main spider gets a ton. So if you don't have enough protection, you're gonna die and this is gonna fail. So for example, my Renegade, 266 speed, 67k HP. This is the only thing that you care about for this specific thing, to have that HP to survive. And I do have War Master and some other stuff for my Fire Knight team, but that's not important. Then Painkeeper, this is basically the Painkeeper that I used in the Bat Eater. But I don't use a Bat Eater anymore, so I could change her. Then unfortunately, this Painkeeper, if you try to use the same Painkeeper, I cannot speak, for the Bat Eater and for this team, is not gonna work, because again, you're gonna want to have, as you know, pretty high HP, and you want to have the speed. So the way that you want it, even if it's just like 1 speed difference, is you want to have Painkeeper and Renegade to be the fastest, so you can have them like 250, 251. Then you can have the 249 be your decreased defense, which can be Lydia or Ghostborn, 248 Husk, 247 Royal Guard as an example. But obviously keep in mind those ticks, so maybe have 2-point speed difference between them, and make sure you don't have Whirlwind of Death maybe on one of your nukers, or if you do, make sure that the speed that the last one, like Royal Guard, gains is not gonna pass too much. I don't think I have it on my Royal Guard. Let me check. Yeah, I don't have it. I took down this ray, because if I took this one, after killing the Spiderlings the first turn, he would gain 18 speed, which might make him go in front of the decreased defense. Keep that in mind. Avoid getting Whirlwind of Death on the last one that goes Royal Guard, so he doesn't, you know, go before the decreased defense. And then, like I said, let me get the Lydia and Ghostborn out. So Ghostborn is an immunity and, you know, cruel. He's just there to do some damage. He's basically the Ghostborn that I use for my Dragon team. No, actually, yeah. No, I don't use him for Dragons, I go Dragon Heart. He's the same one that I'm using for Fire Knight, War Master, so he's just there to do your decrease defense and increase attack, and that's about it. And Lydia's kind of the same thing. This Lydia is in a bolster as well, because there's it in Dragon, but you don't need that extra bolster. As you saw with Ghostborn, I told you it never fails. 2 people, 1 in shield, say 1 in bolster is enough. The reason why I have 1 shield, 1 bolster is bolster cannot be stripped by Seer. And that's why I'm using that one on my Renegade, because the Renegade I'm still using for Fire Knight 25, and that's why the bolster is on Painkeeper. And they stack together. That's something that it doesn't say anywhere, but the value of the bolster adds with the value of the shield set, and you get a higher bolster. That's why I survive. So yeah, Lydia build 259 with some accuracy, War Master. Again, doesn't really matter. This one doesn't really matter. Just want to have the right speed and a little bit of survivability so you don't die, and that's about it. But yeah, this is gonna be for the video today. Again, guys, big shout out to Tyrauku for coming up with this team. I'm gonna have the link to his video in the pinned comment and in the description, so you can go check it out. You can, you know, go show him some love and support. He always comes out with some amazing cops, with some amazing speed tunes, and yeah, without him, I would have never thought about doing this team. But yeah, this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. Again, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm really close to that 8k subs, and I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye, guys.